A lot of people claim that YouTubers like MrBeast, Mark Rober, and maybe even Ryan Trahan have been perpetuating and pushing a new YouTube meta of sorts. You know the deal. The interesting opener, the overpromise, the over-the-top persona, the works. And this amount of claims kinda makes me wonder, is any of that hullabaloo true? I personally think not. Or not yet, at least. Let me explain. So obviously you've seen a MrBeast video. You're watching YouTube. There's probably a MrBeast video and you're up next right now. And there is a pretty undeniable trend there. It's a challenge, there's usually money, and if you watch, it's a pretty standard format. The Beast shows himself, he explains the challenge, he says some wacky shit that will happen in the video to make you want to keep watching, and then the wacky shit happens. It's standard. And these days, if you make a new account, you'll see a MrBeast video within your first 5 videos. And then, when you go back to your homepage, you'll be met by another 50 pasty white MrBeast knockoffs. Thus is the circle of YouTube. And don't get me wrong, I don't blame anyone who enjoys that stuff. I'll be real, it can be pretty interesting. But if it is so interesting, why do people hate it? Well, that's because of the loss of personality. I know, that sounds weird, especially when I said at the start that those loud personalities are a trademark of a MrBeast video. Well, tell me, when you watch these videos, do you feel like you're actually watching people play in a money challenge? Or does it feel like you're watching people try to be as entertaining as possible so they can be brought in for another video? It's probably the latter, especially in recent MrBeast videos, because being a fan favorite means you're coming back again in the future, and coming back again in the future means millions of dollars in your bank account. However, most people really just don't care about that, because it's just plain entertainment. Most people don't really give a shit about the authenticity of the players as long as they are playing. Alright, insert Squid Game reference here. But that means that the general public will watch this stuff religiously. And that is when the pasty white MrBeast knockoffs come in. You know the type. The real-life Squid Game people. What the fuck was that voice? People like Preston, for example. Well, he was Preston Place, but that's neither here nor there. This guy now just does what MrBeast does. But with less stakes, more fake feelings, less fun. You know, worse. But then we get the people who actually have that MrBeast loud personality, but without the money challenges. Well, usually. You just gotta have a money challenge if you're going to be a YouTuber. I'm pretty sure it's a rite of passage. I'm sure I'll need one at some point. Anyway, I'm talking about Mark Rober and Ryan Trahan. Ryan Trahan, you might have heard his name before. He does a lot of content similar to MrBeast. And before you blow my brains out, he is, in my opinion, a good example of MrBeastified YouTubers. Ryan's main shtick is that he does a lot of things, and he goes to a lot of places in a very short amount of time. As of this video's production, he is currently going to all 50 states in 50 days for a fundraiser. But in the past, he's tried 1-star airlines, 1-star hotels, 1-star motels, he stayed in a nuclear bunker, he stayed in another nuclear bunker, he crossed America with only a penny, and the list goes on and on and on. He's a pretty accomplished guy. And he does have a genuine personality once you watch his videos. But on the surface, he does kind of tend to have that MrBeast kind of personality. I mean, you know the personality. Like that one image where the caption says, "She's so quirky, love her." But when you're giving millions of dollars to charity, I'm not gonna rag on you for being a little cringe from time to time. It's more than my broke ass will ever give to charity. There's also Mark Rober. Mark is a bit different because not many people try and emulate what he does. Mostly because people aren't smart enough to do that shit. But Mark does the typical YouTuber voice, big promise, the whole shebang. Bring in some random people to see what he made, and they all do the same shit. I feel like you get the idea here. I've explained everyone, so let's just get into the gentrification claim and see what actual merit there is to those. First of all, and most obviously, thumbnails. Thumbnail culture on YouTube has come a very long way from where it was before MrBeast. Every thumbnail fights for your attention. Some try and be bright, some try and have big words to catch your eyes. I've tried both, and let's be real, if you've tried to make YouTube videos in an attempt to gain fame, you've tried it too. Thumbnails are definitely part of this whole YouTube gentrification shit. If you want to stand out, you have to make your thumbnail stand out. But I personally think that was always bound to happen. I wouldn't pin that on anybody. Not even Jimmy Beast. If not him, it would have been someone else. After that, we've got the formulaic part of videos. You know, the things you get burned out on first. Like I said, MrBeast kinda has a process in his videos. Interesting first line, promise more than just the title and thumbnail, crazy stunts, a sad moment towards the end, perseverance, money. That's just how it goes. Unless you fail, then you don't get the money. But I feel like less and less people are failing, and let's be honest, humanity isn't getting any more hopeful than it used to be, so I won't outright act like I know it's rigged or something. I mean, Dogpack tried that and he got fucking eviscerated in the end, but it does just seem fake and tiring at this point. I'd say that, yeah, it's definitely a part of gentrifying YouTube. Definitely coined by MrBeast. Ryan Trahan also does it, but Ryan also uses those challenges as publicity for charity. It's in the start of like every video he does. Not that MrBeast doesn't do charity, I'm just saying Ryan's videos are a lot more direct that this is for charity. Now we're at 1 for Gentrified, 1 for Inevitable. And then there's copycat culture. Let's not bullshit. It exists. It's everywhere. Everyone's a copycat of everyone. It was going to happen no matter what. All copycats do is perpetuate cycles. I'm going to say this counts for both. Alright, so now we're at 2 for Gentrified, 2 for Inevitable. So, I guess I'll have to bear the burden of choice.
This is all very awkward, but I suppose I could carry this tremendous burden.
Anyway, I'd say YouTube really hasn't become gentrified into money and views yet. It's well on its way, don't get me wrong, but most people are still making passionate videos. The copycats are really the only ones pushing the worst aspects of MrBeast, Ryan Trahan, and those Mark Rober videos. Otherwise, I'd say we are pretty much fine for now. Although, it'd be nice if YouTube could become a little less about the big thumbnails. I suck at thumbnails. Also, there is an argument to say that Inevitable and Gentrified are the same goddamn topic, but this video would be less interesting if that was true, so fuck you.